people involved in it who aren't necessarily big fans of diplomacy or peace.
And if it fails, the war expands?
What's that? I'm sorry?
If it fails, the war expands?
Well, the war is about this operation, okay, and that's what this is. It's about very specific objectives. The president laid them out on the first night of the operation.
Mia, is this a war or a military operation?
Before I answer, Gray, when you were out in the desert, was it an operation or was it a war?
It was definitely a war.
It was definitely a war. It's definitely a war. I mean, this is not at all like the couple bunker destroyer bombs we dropped 9 months ago. This is definitely a war. I mean, we are sending Marines. We are sending everything we have over there. And we are looking to tactically take over certain spots so we can get a better position. So this is definitely a war. This is not an operation.
For sure. So some Iranian people are saying that they like it. So this was an Iranian woman versus a liberal.
She's right. Iranians are asking for the bombs. Oh, no, they are. I'm a journalist. I'm in contact with Iranian youth who are asking to be bombed. And you are standing here supporting a terrorist regime. What are you doing supporting a terrorist regime? Why are you supporting a terrorist regime? I understand bombing is bad. Convince me of what? Of rape? Of women not having no rights? I'm Iranian. I've been imprisoned by that regime. This has got nothing to do with Palestine. This is about a terrorist regime in my country. I can't even go to see my father's grave. I'm left as a refugee. You should think about it.
Okay, Erica. So anytime I talk to someone on the right, they basically say that the people in these countries want this to happen, whether it's Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, wherever the place may be. They say they want Trump to do this. They want to be free. You're on the left. What would you say to these people?
I respect everyone's opinions on the matter. I kind of like to be pragmatic about these situations and try to see both sides of it. All I will say, though, is that it is easier for people who are not living in the midst of it to say what it is that they want for back home. And that makes sense because they're not currently experiencing it. Like people said the same thing about the first Ayatollah and saying that he was a dictator, he was awful, so on and so forth. He killed people. But did you see his funeral in 1989? It's the same day that Tiananmen Square happened in 1989. And when I tell you that the people, hundreds of thousands of people gathered to celebrate this man's life, even grabbing at his burial shroud, and then like pulling his body out of the helicopter that was carrying it. So again, when it comes to like Venezuela, did we see people in the streets in Venezuela celebrating, or did we see people in Miami or Doral, Florida, or in Chile or in Spain? You know, did we see them celebrating, or was it the people in Venezuela? All right. To address that video really quickly, if I may, the thing is that the young lady that was speaking, her feelings are valid. I will never dismiss anyone's feelings. Her feelings are valid. And what I would say to that is that people are not supporting a terroristic regime. That's not what's happening. I don't support violence in any means. However, I don't think of myself as a pacifist. I don't support American interventionism. I don't. American intervention into foreign countries has been the scourge of the earth. Western imperialism, Western intervention. All we do is we go in and we say we want to liberate the people, but we don't liberate anyone. We can look at Iraq. All right. Looking at Iraq, we can see how the people there still suffer to this day due to sectarian wars, and how terrorism is still a thing that occurs there. Well, who did we liberate? Who did we liberate by getting rid of Saddam Hussein? Who are we going to be liberating by getting rid of the Ayatollah? You know, this is nothing. And then for the president of the United States to come out of his mouth just this past weekend to say that, oh, yeah, I could take over the oil there. You know, people back home wouldn't like it, but I could do it. They wouldn't like it, you know. So he's telling us what it is that they're doing here. All right. Why they're going there. It's for control. It's for Western control. And I'm going to say Israel is a part of the West. It's to help them out, the Greater Israel Project. I don't know if I can state it up here. I might go get my tinfoil hat, but
don't worry. Kimberly and I say it all the time. We mentioned the clean break strategy, the 7 and 7 years.
Yep. I met corridor, all that stuff. So yeah.
For sure. So basically, Trump said he did this because people wouldn't negotiate.
It says more reasonable. Again,
these
folks are appearing more reasonable behind the scenes privately in these conversations than perhaps some of the previous leaders who are now no longer on planet Earth because they lied to the United States and they strung us along in negotiations, and that was unacceptable to the president, which is why many of the previous leaders were killed. So again, this is another historic opportunity for Iran to do the right thing.
So, Rona, you said that Charlie Kirk's a distraction, but Trump seems pretty upfront that, he's basically going to do whatever he wants to do. So, do you feel like Trump is BSing? What's your thoughts?
Okay. First off, thank you, because I was about to burst because I wanted to. Okay. First off, that woman is able to string along lies. The only thing that she said that was truthful was president. The rest of it was just complete, verbal diarrhea. And I'm talking about Caroline Levitt. I wasn't talking about Erica. Don't hate me. Trump is a used car salesman. He has taken the American dream and swapped it out for a gold-plated nightmare. This guy has fleeced the American people to the point. He literally hates everybody that can't actually do anything for him. He hates black people, white people, Spanish people. He doesn't care about anybody unless they can actually either add a vote to his poll or add to his budget. That's it. So him using the war and trying to jump into this was just, again, another distraction to avoid the fact. And the reality of it is this country is insolvent right now. We have less profit in our coffers than we can pay our national debt. And he is literally burning $1 billion a day, so worried about other countries. He's using taxpayer dollars that all of us pay every single day to enrich other countries. And instead of worrying about this country, he's out there, putting false wars together just to distract from those files, because that's how bad those files are. This guy's willing to admit to war crimes in real time and has no problem with that because he realizes that it's going to be longer for them to be able to prosecute him for those than they would if they actually opened up those files.
For sure. So we never talk about, the life toll that this goes with, because a lot of people say there's a genocide happening in Gaza. So here's a debate about Gaza versus the Holocaust.
Jews do you think were killed in the Holocaust?
Are we serious?
271K at best.
6 million. Wrong.
You think it's 6 million?
God. I know it's 6 million.
Are you Jewish?
What do you think?
Probably. Are we surprised at this point?
What are you going to do about it?
So, okay, let's go through this.
What are you going to do?
Are you Israeli or no?
Am I what?
Are you Israeli or no?
No.
American, but Jewish? Jewish American?
Yeah, Jews exist everywhere.
Sure, okay. So, do you think that Israel did a genocide?
That's a complicated question.
Oh.
I think, yes, there is some statistical data to back that up, but I also think that, playing devil's advocate, Netanyahu's not really doing a good job of what he wants to do.
Okay.
He's an idiot.
So I knew it. She's pro-Israel. Okay, great. So that's fine. So let's go through this, right? You asked me about the Holocaust. 6 million, blah, blah, blah. You think it's 6 million.
Israel was formed as a reaction to the Holocaust.
What was that?
Israel, as a nation, was formed reactionary to the Holocaust.
We had plans before.
They use that excuse, but it was actually formulated before that. But that's fine. Well, let's go through with this Holocaust thing, and then you're
Google
asking me about this. So let me ask you this. So I think everybody here, besides yourself, and a bunch of people here would agree that what we saw over the past couple of years was actually a genocide. Netanyahu, Yoav Gallant, they have warrants out for their arrest. B'Tselem, which is a human rights organization based out of Israel itself, said it was a genocide. Almost every genocide expert pretty much agrees that what happened in Gaza was a genocide by definition, because it's the extermination of a people in whole or in part, okay? And we witnessed it. Hold on, let me finish my point. We not only did we see that. Hold on, one sec, Jew, hold on.
Not just part of it, an entire group.
No.
Where do you think that over half of the entire world's Jews are supposed to go?
Let me finish my point, and because you asked me a question, I'm trying to answer it for you, okay? What your opinion really on it is irrelevant, because genocide experts have all agreed that what happened and every human rights organization has agreed that what happened in Gaza over the past couple of years was a genocide. Okay.
Which human rights organization?
Now, the Israeli government and yourself will deny that it's a genocide. Fine, no problem.
I'm not like working with the Israeli government or anything. Like,
I'm saying you and the Israeli government, like you agree, you have their agreement where you would not classify it as a genocide, which is fine. But we witnessed in 1080p, in 4K in some ways, them bombing and killing kids for damn near 2 years. And they sit there and they tell you it's not a genocide. Well, let me ask you this then. If they could deny a genocide in 2023 all the way to 2026 with 1080p footage, what makes you think they won't lie about a tragic event from World War II from which they derive their victim narrative, they derive a lot of Hollywood movies, they derive their entire identity around? You don't think they'll lie about that?
So a narrative other than yours is just completely null and void?
Say that again?
There's really no possibility that everyone is lying about this?
About the Holocaust or genocide?
Israel.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. I'm saying the same people that say it was 6 million deny a genocide that happened in front of us. You don't think that they would lie when there were no camera footage and there was way less evidence?
Can you pull up some footage?
Of Gaza getting bombed?
Yeah.
This can't be real life.
Look it up. If you have the facts to back it up, let me see.
Okay, you can, do this. Go on Twitter, type in Gaza, and you're gonna see kids getting bombed and killed, literally blown into pieces.
Okay.
Okay?
If I look up
and with all that footage, Israel still says it wasn't a genocide. So I'm not gonna believe them that it was 6 million.
I watch videos of Israeli women getting raped, and people like you say they deserve it because of their nationality. It's wrong. It's fucked up.
Okay. Yeah, they tortured kids. Yeah, you're right. Well, number one,
children too.
Number one, I never said that they deserved the rape, ever. You're misquoting me. Number two, do you have proof of the rapes?
Do I have proof of what exactly?
The rapes.
The rapes?
Yeah, because I saw that 40-minute video you're referring to. There was no rapes in it.
Let me see.
And there were no beheaded babies either.
Here, I'll let someone else ask a question. I'm going to look this up, and can you come back to me?
Go for it.
All right, cool.
But there's no beheaded babies, babies in ovens, all lies. All lies. And the lie came, you can look it up. A guy named Yossi Landau. He was one of the first people to make that lie up that he saw beheaded babies when he first arrived on the scene. And then when they pressed him on it, what did he say? Oh, I was using my imagination. Like what? That claim that he made was ran with the whole Western world and Netanyahu to justify the aggression against Gaza. So, hey, it's if they could lie about that, I don't think it's 6 million.
Kim, what is your response to what Myron had to say?
Yeah, I agreed with him mostly in that clip. I actually don't like I don't like when they start going down the rabbit hole of questioning like how many people died during the Holocaust. I think that's a sure way to lose the argument, because it kind of pushes people to the fringes, right? With this like alternative history that we've been seeing in the manosphere. But I mean, he was right. They tried to do a documentary about the alleged mass rapes, I think it was on one of the big networks. I think it was like on 60 Minutes or something. And they had to pull it because they didn't have enough evidence to prove it. The 40 beheaded babies, same thing. A lot of the torture, the rape during October 7th, it was already bad enough that they didn't need to lie or make up anything to add to it, because it was already pretty sad what they did, which we condemn. I'm sure everybody here condemns murder. But the reason why the reason why they do that is to dehumanize the Palestinians. They collectivize Hamas with the people in Gaza and all Palestinians. They use the words like barbaric and barbarism to make them seem less than human. So they have to make up these lies. Like when Joe Biden went and literally repeated those lies and said he saw pictures of 40 beheaded babies, which there's no proof of. There was sadly one baby that was killed, and after they investigated, it seems that baby was sadly killed during the crossfire. It wasn't like an intentional murder, but still, that is already bad enough. They don't need to make it worse, and that's why they do things like that. I can see how people like can start with this, like they're like provocateurs, right? Like it wasn't 6 million people, right? To kind of get people in that bait and switch, and then they use both sides do it. They use girls like this that are silly and don't know what they're talking about to prove a point, and that's how you get views. So it was hard to watch.
I like Kim. She's awesome. Okay, that was good. I like that.
So we're gonna change gears because an NBA player named Jaden Ivey was let go by the Bulls because he made an